How's it going, everybody? Moose here. We are in Wyoming. The first time on the trip I've got to come to a state I've never seen before by motorcycle. We're on our way to Devil's Tower right there at a very slow and painful pace.
Yep.
Automobiles make roads no fun for bikers.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. It's been a fun trip so far. My Kaylee 7 and myself were actually recognized at the hotel.
Yep.
Two sets of viewers, Chuck and
Sandy.
Sandy and Nyla and Lauren were there, and very nice people. We got to speak to them a little bit outside and chat, and then we hit the road. They hit the road first. And so it was fun meeting some people that watch you on YouTube. It's one of the few times I think I've been recognized out in public.
Yep.
And so that was cool. A few things I've learned about the trip so far is pretty disappointed in this Harley Davidson. When we got to Wyoming wise, I mean, the bike is apparently not designed around climbing hills and elevation. My Kaylee 7 on the Goldwing was doing 88 miles an hour without any issue at all, just tooling along. This thing, cranked all the way back, was having trouble doing 82, 83 up those hills, which is pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
I must say. So I have a feeling this bike will be saying goodbye next year, because apparently it can no longer do the things I'm asking it to do. It's a nice bike. They're great bikes, but they're not what they say they are. They're not the ultimate touring machine. I think Harley Davidson needs to change that. Ultimate touring machine as long as you're on flat ground. Then they'd be fine. Otherwise, it's a total and utter piece of BS. Although it's a nice motorcycle, it's a well-built motorcycle, it does not have the power needed to do certain things when it's stock. And in my book, when you buy something, you shouldn't have to throw money into the engine to make it so it can climb a hill.
That's a good point.
That's not the way it works. I don't buy a car and then go down, take the engine out, and put a different engine in it so I can go up hills. So, as much as I love it, I am fairly confident I'm about 95% there, saying I'm going to take a bath on it next year and trade it in on something else. Probably a Goldwing. I'll have to deal with shitty paint, but at least I'll have a nice bike to ride.
Yeah. Well, you're right. The paint on these things is not as good as the Harley. Not at all.
But, I mean, I've been getting by with the fact that I can't do the curves the way I want to do, because I can say what kind of bike it is. You know, it's not meant for it, so I can explain that one away, but I can't explain something away when I can't go up hills at the speed limit. 80 miles an hour is the speed limit in Wyoming, and it was struggling to do that 80 miles an hour up the hill, so that's not good. That's not excusable. I think Harley Davidson needs to step back and take a good look at what they're designing and stop screwing the customer over and start making the bike right from the factory. That's just my opinion. Hate me if you want, but that's the way I feel about it. If you disagree, we're going to have to agree to disagree on it.
Well, if anybody disagrees, I challenge that person to take a stock Milwaukee 8 bike, an Ultra like you have,
Right.
and try to do any better than you're doing. Because you haven't done anything wrong to the bike.
No.
You haven't modified it. It's just bone stock engine, bone stock exhaust, and you're having trouble going through what shouldn't be troublesome country.
Right. It's a high elevation, but the EFI should adjust for that. And it doesn't seem to. So I love the bike, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's perfect for this kind of trip, because really, on a long road trip, the bike's got to do everything you want it to do. The one drawback to the Goldwing, of course, other than the seat, which has been a drawback in any bike I've ever owned.
Yep.
So I can't even say it's a drawback. That's just one of those things. But the only drawback would be the luggage space. However, I did pack almost all my stuff with the exception of my bag of clothes and my Kaylee 7's bike, and it all fit within the trunk and the saddlebag like it does on this. So as far as that goes, I'd be fine. I would just have to, figure out luggage on the back, kind of like he did. I'd like to have some quick disconnect, which I'm sure I could engineer and figure out if I had the bike sitting there in the garage.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, I'm sure I'll take a hit like you always do when you trade something in, but I really don't think I want to come on another trip and feel like I'm struggling through where I'm going. But
I feel bad, and I haven't said, because you know how Moose and I are always picking. We're always kind of joking with each other. And some people might think it cruel, but we understand each other. And I have not picked on him at all for this, because I know how much it's bothersome, and it bothers me for him.
I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm crying for you.
But, you know, it is what it is. Still enjoying the trip. It doesn't kill the trip. It just slows the trip down a little bit.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing this on an 88 cubic inch.
I know. I was wondering maybe if you geared down.
I did.
All right. Never mind.
I went down to 5th, and it still wouldn't get above, you know. I mean, I can live with the fact you can't do 80. I'll do 75. If you can do 75 straight, you'll set it at 80 and do 75 to 80. That's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll get through. We won't lose that much time. You only talk a couple minutes an hour.
Yeah.
But it's just, it should be better than that from the factory. It shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to throw money into a $30,000 motorcycle to make it do what it needs to do. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So, with that, we'll be at the Devil's Tower soon, and I'm going to take some pictures, enjoy the day. It's beautiful outside. The road is awesome. The car's slowing us down a little bit, but that's the way it goes when you're on a bike. So until next time, this is Moose saying keep it safe out there. Don't climb any hills with your Harley. Have a good one. Bye.